Right, these have just arrived. This is an extension piece to go on there. Should go to there with various lock nuts. So I'm hoping that will do the trick for that. I've changed the way I make L-shaped brackets actually. I used to just put them in the vise, hammer them over. But what I do now is, if I'm using thick steel, is I use the hacksaw and I cut a groove. Then when I put it in the vise and hammer it over, it kind of weakens it. And then I jam it in the vise like that so it can't move, having checked it with a set square. And then I just MIG weld it along there. Because each end is held in the vise, it can't distort and open out or close up. I've got the brackets bolted to the cylinder. Then I've got them clamped to this plate here, and then I've checked that the cylinder is level to the ground, which it is, and it's level to this rod, which it is pretty close. I'll just do a few final measurements, and then probably I will tack weld these brackets on. Right, well, I've worked out the amount of travel you need from there to fully open throttle is 35mm, and seeing as my seesaw thing here, the pivot is in the middle, then that means my cable travel needs to be 35mm. I sat in the car and worked out that that's about the right place for the pedal there. That's the amount of travel. So to get it to stop at that point, not come further forward, I've put a adjustable stop here. So that means I put a cardboard template on there and worked out how long my arm needs to go down for it to travel just over 35mm, and we come up with this little thing that I've made. Bit like the other one I made. This is like an interference fit with the 8mm shaft, so I can tap it on and then weld it. Two little bit thinner pieces of metal here. Right, and then here's the end of my accelerator cable. One end is fixed on permanently, and that will go through there. See, it just fits, he said. There we are. So the secret with these is you don't cut the slot both sides. So when the cable goes in, you put it in like that, and then you bring it around like that, and it. So there it is, and if I operate the accelerator, you can see it moves. I've measured it, it's about 40mm. So now this is the bracket that's going to be welded on that will hold the outer sheath. So you can see you put the wire through there, then you put that through there, like that, and then you start doing this up. There you go. So what I've done here is I've got the remains of a bolt which fits the thread into this, and then I've got the threaded rod that goes to my little mini ball joint. That's metric, so I got a little piece of this rod here and basically just drilled into each end of it until it went in, and then welded it on low power. So that will now screw on there, probably with thread lock because there isn't actually room for the lock nut. And then that end will go into the mini ball joint, which I'll show you now. So there it is, all fitted. So this was screwed on all the way up to here with Loctite on the thread, and the same with this. If I'd used the lock nuts, it would have made that longer, which would have made that gap there shorter and too short for the cable. So now if I pull that, you see, we get what we need. I had to redesign this a little bit, so there's my accelerator linkage. I had to redesign this end because I didn't have enough travel here, and now I do. You've also got to think of the cable coming out. Is it going to like bind on the edge of here? It's got to be as straight as possible. So you see from there to there, it's a reasonably straight line with this. I've moved, see that's the old hole, put a new one here. I've used the bandsaw to cut the stagger out of this pedal. The pedal was kind of like, wasn't like that, it was like that. So I've cut the diagonal out, so I now can weld it back together, well, after I've shortened it. So I need to put this back in the car and do a bit of measuring now. So I've shortened this pedal and I'm just getting ready to weld it. So I've just clamped a piece of metal on the back. I kind of hope I've measured it right. I checked enough times. I tack welded it with the MIG welder just enough to check the position, and that is where it's supposed to be. So I'll take it off again and weld it all the way now. Right, well, I've welded it. The other thing I've done is I've cut a slit there and then just bent that round so the pedal is now straight with the rest of the arm, if you like. So I'm just going to weld that and then it'll be ready for a lick of paint. Right, we have a bit of progress. We've welded in this plate properly, and the clutch pedal, which was a brake pedal, you remember, is now in and in about the correct position. I somewhat straightened it out, as you can see there, given it a coat of paint. And master cylinder is in for the clutch, and it's connected. I don't know if we can see that. Oh yeah, there we go. It's connected through to the pedal with the various adjusters and the extension piece. That's pretty neatly placed there. It should fit. I need to put the body on to check. But the other thing I've done is fit a gear shift. What I did here was this tube is already 3mm thick wall. It's quite a thick walled tube. I dismantled this and slid that out of the way in case this melted with the heat. I basically sleeved another piece of tube over there to make it even thicker, then drilled through, then fitted the old original gear shift lever kind of cut down. And I've also welded a strengthening gusset in here, because what I'm finding is when you change gear, you sometimes really have to whack it hard to get it to slide forward and back. So this lever here, this mechanism slides forward and back. So you've got second here and third there. I can actually see why when I watched some of last year's VHRA Pendine videos, some of the people with rear engine cars were struggling a bit to change gear. They'd floor it in first, fling up a lot of sand, not get much speed up, and then struggle to go across the gate and into second. And I can see why people might start off gently in second and then change to third, because that's just a straight pull back on this mechanism. I've shortened this push rod quite a lot, but it's still adjustable. So this is threaded from there to about there. I cut all the rest off. That's the lock nut. This is a joiner tube. It's female and threaded along the inside. So I drilled about 5mm into this end, and then put the end of this other push rod, just the very tip of it, in, welded it in, and so this can be lengthened by unscrewing this from this by about a centimetre if it came to it. So I've still got a bit of adjustability in there while keeping it like ultra short. So we've got a bracket there, a bit crude, but it works and it's in the right place to take the slave cylinder. So now I'll test fit that with a shortened push rod and see how that goes.